Hello everyone, it's me again, Sheikah, coming to talk to you about service members, families, friends, and some of the struggles that we may face as soldiers. The first question that was posed was some of the issues that we face when we have to PCS from duty station to duty station. I got a response back from that. It wasn't as big of a volume as I would have liked it to have been, but you know, it is what it is. I posted this question on Facebook as well as on YouTube, and so most of the comments came from Facebook, just me collaborating with people that I've known throughout my military career. One person in particular stated that for them, one of the hardest things about PCSing is leaving friends that they've met since they were at that duty station. As soldiers, a lot of times we're at duty stations on average for about 3 years. You know, you might get to one duty station and you're there for 2 years. You might get to another one and you're there for 4 years. But for the most part, on average, it's about 3 years between duty stations. So you meet friends, you're there with them for about 3 years, and then bam, it's time to go. So how do you deal with that? I think that sometimes it's okay. It's okay to move on, because if you're one of them people that's lucky enough and blessed enough to be able to make friends, then you know that you'll make them at other duty stations. And so that doesn't mean that you let go of your old friends. That just means that you continue to grow as a person. You continue to meet new people, and it's just wonderful. And then it gives you an opportunity to go places, visit them, and before you know it, you'll have friends in all 50 states, in a couple of countries, and it'll give you an excuse to go to different countries. So this forum is not really made to solve problems, more or less, or give people advice, because clearly I'm not a licensed clinician or anything like that. I just wanted to get an overall idea of some of the things that people go through in the military. And that leads me to the point of why I've started this forum. I've started this forum not so much, again, to solve anyone's problems, because I'm not licensed to do that, or help talk through someone's problems. Because I want to be a therapist to soldiers, there are a lot of things that I have not endured. You know, I have not, had to deal with certain things that other people have to deal with. Then on top of that, one situation for me, you put another person in that situation, they may not go through it in the same way. We may have difference of opinion about it. We may have different struggles, because there may be other things that's going on in their life at that time that make that particular problem seem either bigger or smaller. And then the same thing with me. You know, it might be some situations going on in my life, like say for example, if I was PCSing in the middle of, maybe my son struggling in school, or I got some issues going on internally, whatever the case may be, and then it's time for me to PCS. PCSing will probably seem like the hardest thing in the world to do at that time, because I have so many other things going on with me at that particular time. So this is just so that I can be a better clinician, so that I can have a better understanding of some of the struggles. And I wanted to make sure that I put that out there, that this is the purpose of this. I just want to hear from other people's point of view. Now, in saying that, I was also told that apparently PCSing doesn't get easier over time. And I know for me, being in the military, just as I stated in my first video, 22 years, I've PCSed about 6 times. And it was always something that, I kind of looked forward to, but then again, I dreaded it at the same time, because I knew that there were so many things that I had to get in order. I had to make sure that I remember certain things. It's a lot. It's a lot that we go through, and, I think that sometimes it doesn't get better. It doesn't get better just because you've done it several times or anything like that, But leading up to my second question that I would like to pose and hear everyone's feedback is, how do we adjust? As service members, first coming into the military, how do we adjust? Because sometimes service members come in and they're only in for 4 years. Or better yet, they come in for 4 years and then they realize that for whatever reason they have to stay in. So then before you know it, they're like at 22 years like myself. So how do you adjust? How do you adjust to being a soldier, a sailor, a Marine, whatever? How do you adjust? How is it that you become something that you weren't born, born? You wasn't born into being a service member. So how do you adjust? What are some of the things that you did to adjust to being a service member? Because the rules are different. The rules are different for us than they are for our civilian counterparts. So how do you adjust? And so before I had put out on the first form that I would like people to email me, well, it appeared that might not have worked out so well. So whether it's on YouTube or on Facebook. Let's just talk about it. So again, the question is, how do you adjust? How did you learn to adjust to be a service member? You know, was it advice that was given to you? Was it something that you just started to deal with? You know, I mean, how did you adjust? You know, everybody had their different ways. Everybody stayed in longer. Someone got out because of whatever reason. You know, did you get out? Did you stay in? What was it? What is it that allowed you to stay in, if only for one enlistment? What was so different about it, or how did you adjust to doing it? So okay, let's talk about it. Let's talk about it and just hear everybody else's, because you'll be amazed of how you may say something and you'll think that you are the only person in the world that's going through this, and then you'll look up and find out that there's other people that's going through it, maybe in the same way that you're going through it. So it's okay to see, okay, well, how did you deal with this? And so let's talk about it. All right, so let's talk about it on YouTube, Facebook, whatever the case may be. All right, until we meet again, thank you. Bye.